Welcome to the Deanne Scanlon Show, presented by Option 1 Credit Union. I'm DJ Foster, joined as always by Grand Valley State head volleyball coach Deanne Scanlon. Coach, a good weekend for you guys as you went to Ohio and came back with a couple of road victories. First, you went to Ashland on Friday night, a team who, coming into the weekend, was 7-1 in the conference and had won 5 matches in a row. But they come out and win the first set. But you win the next 3 and pick up maybe your biggest win of the season, because Ashland had been playing pretty well up to that point. Talk about the victory over the Eagles.
Yeah, we talked about us getting over the hump. You know, we've had some 5-game losses, and we kind of highlighted this Ashland match as an opportunity for us to, you know, finally get over that hump and you know, start to work toward the kind of season that I thought that we could have. And you know, we've been thrown a lot of things have come our way this year with injuries and with certain things happening on our team. And going into that Ashland match, we found out that one of our starters, our best offensive player, Megan Schroeder, was not going to be available to play. She tweaked her ankle the day before, so we're, you know, I just told the kids, it's an opportunity for somebody else. So the lineup had to change kind of at the last minute there, but the kids really stepped up. We fought hard. It was a gritty match. I wouldn't say that we executed well all points of our game, but we made Ashland battle, which I don't think they like to do too much. You know, they're a pretty offensive team, and our kids just stuck to the game plan and just grinded that match out, and it was a great win for us. A lot of excitement. The kids felt really good after that.
Yeah, definitely. And then you have a day off on Saturday. You go to Lake Erie on Sunday. Lake Erie, clearly an inferior opponent, but they're on your schedule. You have to play them, so you go out and you win. You win 3-0, including 25-5 in the third set, which you don't see very often.
Right.
You guys were just dominant in that third set. Talk about the win over Lake Erie.
Yeah, sometimes teams like that, you can play down to their level, and you don't want that to happen. And I think it was another huge step for us of playing up to our ability. We were able to get some players in that have been working really hard, and we haven't been able to let them get in and grow. Alyssa DeHaan was one of those where the situation just really has not presented itself for her to get in and get an opportunity to learn the game. But she was able to get in against Lake Erie, got 15 sets and had 10 kills, and I think 3 blocks. You know, she can, you know, I think is feeling a lot more comfortable, and I think that she's going to be someone that can help us, you know, contribute, and you know, she just brings something to the floor that nobody else has, you know, with her size. But I think, again, to beat a team like Lake Erie, like I think we should have beaten them, again, is a huge step for us to be able to do that.
Sure.
So.
Well, after the weekend, you're 9-7 overall. You're 6-6 in GLIAC play. As you mentioned, you've had some lineup changes. You've had some internal things. You've been able to play some younger players, a couple transfers like Megan Schroeder and Lindsay Holt. What's your kind of overall take on your team right now, with kind of the second half of the season almost coming up?
Yeah, I think our team is kind of like they're starting to understand the grueling schedule that the GLIAC is. Again, like you said, we're playing young players, transfers that haven't experienced it, so that's a learning experience in itself. But I think they're also understanding what type of a team that we are, and that we just need to come to compete and play every night, and we'll be okay. You know, it doesn't always have to be perfect. I have a team that's very, I think they were very hard on themselves, and there's that fine line of, yes, you have to have expectations, but you also, especially in the sport of volleyball, you have to be ready to forget what just happened and prepare for the very next thing, because it's coming very quickly. So I think our team is trying to understand that. I think we're getting that about ourselves, that this is who we are. This is our identity. We may not know who's going to be on the floor, you know, or those lineups may change a little bit, but I think they're understanding that that's okay, that whoever's coming in on the floor, you know, we're going to trust that person. We're going to, you know, that person's going to be fine, and you know, it's taken us a while, but I think that's where we're at.
After this weekend, you'll have 7 more conference games before you get into postseason. You've been around great teams before. The national championships up in the band, you know, up in the rafters here. What does this team kind of need to keep improving on and keep working on as you're heading towards the latter half of the season?
I think cutting down on our errors off of serve receive is still number one, but I think, again, just coming to battle every single night. There's nothing that wears another team down more than just that team on the other side of the net that won't get discouraged, that won't back down, that just keeps coming after you and coming after you. And I would say in the past, maybe that isn't who we've been. We've been that team that has been more dominant, you know, with with our blocking and more dominant with our attacking. But that's okay. I think that we can still be successful. I can see us running the table in the GLIAC the rest of the way out. Those last 7 games, I think it's a very feasible thing to do. But it's going to be a challenge.
Sure. Well, before you even get to that, you go to the crossover this weekend. The GLIAC GVSU Crossover, for our fans that don't know, teams from the Great Lakes Intercollegiate Athletic Conference, that's ours, will go and face teams from the Great Lakes Valley Conference in what I think is the biggest college volleyball tournament in the country, any division.
Right.
You've had good success there over the past few years. You're 7-2. In the 3 years they've had the tournament, you went 3-0 last year. You went 3-0 in the first year they had it in 2008. Looking ahead to your schedule, you play Missouri S&T and Bellarmine on Friday, and then you meet up with an old foe, Lewis, on Saturday, who
Why
you played
not?
each of the past couple years.
Yep.
Had 2 5-set thrillers with them each of the past 2 years. Talk about the schedule that you have this weekend.
Yeah, I like our schedule. The girls know the importance of this weekend, of how it can set us up in the region. It's not only about Grand Valley doing well, but it's the only time that we root for our fellow GLIAC teams to go over there and do well, because we want to kind of showcase that the GLIAC conference is a stronger volleyball conference, and it will help with our regional rankings going into postseason play. But I think we have a good schedule. We're getting film on all those teams to kind of see what they're like. We haven't played S&T in a while, but they're having a good year. They I think are 8-2 in the year right now. So more than anything, I always feel like it's more about us. And again, we have the young kids going over there. A lot of them have played there in club ball, so they will have some experience of being in that facility. But it's going to be another learning experience with those kids getting over there and not getting starstruck by all 7 courts, 8 courts going at once, and the noise level and all of that. So we're going to do our best to prepare them for that. Because those things can come into play a little bit too. But I said, I think our kids are ready. I think they, this past weekend did really, I don't know if it boosted their confidence, but at some point, winning feels a heck of a lot better than losing.
Sure.
So, they got a taste of that, and I know that's what the path that we want to continue on.
Well, you go to Aurora, Illinois for that tournament this weekend. Hopefully you bring back 3 W's with you, and it'll sure be fun.
That's something exactly. Sounds like a plan.
Great. Thanks for joining us today.
No problem.
I'm DJ Foster. Thank you for watching the Deanne Scanlon Show here on the Grand Valley Sports Network.